Today I am going to show you how I do a bit of creative journaling in my Ban.do Agenda. As you can see, I'm wearing a cozy sweatshirt because it was a very rainy day when I filmed this, and it was perfect for just sitting down, getting creative in my journal, and recording the first half of the week. So the first thing I did was gather a few supplies, and I will try to link them below as much as I can if they're still available, but these stamps are from a Kelly Perky mini kit that I just had to have, and what I was going to do was stamp out all the days on white paper and then trim them apart because I wanted to make the days of the week a little different because I do journal in this almost every week, so it's kind of fun to switch it up every once in a while. But then I changed my mind and decided to start out by laying out the images and the card that I wanted to use in case I wanted to stamp directly on them or layer in a different way. And so now I'm just figuring out how I'm going to include this card into this journaling entry. And so I'm just marking where each of the rings are so I can hole punch and then make a little slit in each hole to kind of snap it into this ring bound planner. I like to do this just to add different elements. It adds a little bit of interaction and movement into the page, and you can add all types of things like photos and lists and even just paper like this into your spread, and it gives you a little bit more room to write and also just adds, in this case, a lot of fun color and pattern, and like I said, an interactive piece that kind of makes this entry different from the previous ones. So now I am just going to use a glue stick to adhere all the photos and graphics that I printed out from Pinterest, and you can see that I printed these on scrap paper that I had already printed on and didn't end up using, so it was light enough on the backside that it worked to just print on the other side and you didn't see through the paper. And so now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of this washi tape. It's just this fun kind of graphic blue and white triangle pattern, and I wanted to use this to bring out that blue a little bit more and also kind of balance out each side of the page. So on that left page, the photo with the blue backsplash kind of felt a little heavy on the top of the page, so I wanted to balance it out with that blue tape kind of in the lower half. And then you can see I used it on the right page as well, and I also layered that silver grid washi on top just to give it a little bit more depth and add that layering. And so now I am going to stamp out those days of the week, and I'm going to switch from the left side to the right side just to add a little variety and kind of move the eye around the page. Because this is a planner, you saw that the days of the week and the dates were already on there, but like I said, because I journal in this nearly every week, it's fun to switch it up to add different fonts and just a different look to each week. I don't do this every week. a lot of the times I will just leave the days of the week as they are printed in the planner, but I wanted to use these stamps, and I think that kind of the whimsical handwritten font goes really well with the images I printed out and kind of the graphic washi tape that I used. And some weeks I will kind of journal day by day, and some weeks I will just do kind of one long entry at the end of the week usually that covers both pages. So I do a little bit of both. I don't have a goal to journal every day, but because of the way, you know, all planners are formatted, it does encourage kind of keeping on top of it and recording kind of the days as they come. And so now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of decoration up on the top of the right page with just a few more washi tapes. I got a bunch of new washi tape over the weekend, and I've just been enjoying using it, and I love layering different washi, and I thought those were kind of a fun combo of very kind of geometric patterns and also more kind of more natural or whimsical patterns as well. So now what I'm doing is using this stamp set that has a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, and you probably recognize it. I wanted to bring out a little bit more of the yellow into the page. So this stamp set was perfect because it has this kind of ribbon banner piece that you layer behind the text. And so I'm just using this bright yellow ink pad to stamp that background. And you can see I'm trying to figure out how it layers behind the text. For some reason, every time I use this stamp set, I forget which way it goes. And I don't know why it takes me so long to figure it out, but it does. But I got it eventually, and you'll see me kind of using the transparency to kind of see which way it goes before I even ink up the stamp. So that's a little stamping trick if you ever have a stamp set that is confusing to layer like this one is. And maybe it's just me, but I did get it eventually. And I really like how that yellow really pops, and also I really like the different fonts that are used in that quote. I think they go nicely with the rest of the text on these pages. And I wanted to use some of these stickers, but I couldn't really figure out how to incorporate them without making that little tab too busy, but I will use them later. And so now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to attach this, and I use a paper clip, and you'll see that I change my mind later, but that's all part of the process, is kind of making it up as I go and not committing to things that don't feel right, because chances are I will figure it out as I go. So now I come back to these stickers, and these are from the Flow book for paper lovers, and this one sheet of stickers is one of the main reasons I bought the book in the first place. I just think they're so beautiful, and so I chose this little sticker with a black background, and then I layered a word strip by the Reset Girl on top just to finish off that little kind of decorative piece there. And so now I am using this kind of reddish pink Tombow brush pen to script out Valentine's Day. And this planner said Valentine's Day, but I layered one of those cutouts over the top because I wanted to make it stand out a little more, and I thought it would be a fun way to incorporate some of my own lettering. And so I'm actually just outlining it with a black pen, and this is something I like to do when I use kind of a thicker marker that's not black, I guess. Just because the black outline really adds kind of a fun and crafty element to it, and makes it a little bit messier and a little bit more personal. It doesn't look so perfect, and personally I like that about the outlining. So now what I'm doing is stamping this currently loving stamp on the back of this kind of flap that I added in. And this is something I like to do kind of in these little inserts that I sometimes include, because kind of in my day-to-day journaling, I don't always kind of record the little things or the things that kind of go unnoticed, I guess. So yeah, I will go back in and journal in kind of my current favorites on the back of that card, and it's fun to have in this journal as I flip back through. And so you can see that I trimmed around that quote, and now I'm just adhering it with a tape runner. And I like how that looks. It leaves a little bit of a white border, but it still stands out quite a bit. And you saw that I was kind of pointing around the page, and that was because I thought that there was kind of too much yellow on the right page and too much red on the left page, that it didn't really balance out. So I wanted to add some of the yellow onto the left page. And so I used this stamp that I found at a used craft store, and it's just a little skyline, and I went ahead and stamped it in yellow and then over the top with black, and the yellow kind of peeks through and just adds a little bit of kind of a vintagey look to that page. And then I'm also going to use that yellow ink with this banner stamp, which was from the Target one spot, and I'm going to stamp up above, just kind of over the month title, just to add, again, a little bit of that yellow and a little bit more shape. And it just kind of adds a little bit of balance. And I might add a little bit of red on the right hand page, but because there is some of it in that patterned card that I added in, I think I'm gonna leave it for now. And so you'll see that I pulled off this word strip that I wanted to use, but again, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of layering, and this striped washi definitely makes that word strip pop a little bit. And I'm also going to add one in that upper right corner up by Thursday, just to, again, a little bit of layering and just to add a little bit of a little sentiment to describe the day. And so I'm kind of deciding if I want to add anything more right now, or if I want to kind of start the journaling part. But I actually decided to add in one more of these stickers on Saturday, and I wanted it to kind of hide completely behind that card so it wouldn't kind of get cut off awkwardly. And so I just stuck it right there on Saturday. And that is kind of the end of the decoration. And because I was doing this on Thursday, I will go ahead and journal Monday through Thursday, but leave the weekend blank to journal at some point over the weekend or even Monday morning. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.